Okay, so we'll start with our GS1 topic on social issues and society. Okay, so today I will just discuss the topics that will be covered and probably a little bit introduction to Indian society. Okay, that's what we will try to do now. Okay, so before this I will tell you the plan how we are going to deal with some of the topics in the next 2 months. So we will be covering this society and social issues. Okay, so we'll be covering Karnataka geography. We'll be also covering human geography, and then we will be covering post Karnataka history. All of these three things simultaneously. So depending on the faculty's availability, we will try to mix and match and do it. Okay, so bear with me so that you don't get confused, right? So social issues and society and related topics, I will cover it myself. Okay, Karnataka history will be covered by Syed sir. Okay, and post Karnataka, there will be like about 5 topics which will be covered by Gayatri ma'am. Okay, so these are the 3 things that we'll do. After that, we will start with rural development. Okay, and then governance along with rural developments, polity, constitution, and governance. So these will be covered after that simultaneously together. So this is the complete plan. So by about another 2 or 3 months, you will be covering all these topics: rural development, society, social issues, rural, Karnataka history, geography, all that. Okay. So this is how you have to also plan in your mind how we are going to do it in our class. Is that okay? Online students also. So this is what we plan to do. Now, social issues, society, etc. I will be handling. So now I'll just, I mean, if you look at the syllabus, no, both in GS1 and GS2, if you have happened to see it and go through it in detail and try to understand that, you would have realized it's very difficult to relate a lot of topics because there's a lot of interlinking. Correct? You might have seen even local government in this, right? You might have also seen rural development in this, or rural development may you have seen some village society and other things. So there's a lot of overlapping, right? Keep that aside for now, right? So whatever we are going to do, we sat and we have now arranged these topics in such a way that you can better understand these topics. Is that okay? So me and my team, from 2 days, we have been doing that. We have tried to organize these topics the best way you can understand. With that, both GS1 as well as GS2 topics related to these things can be addressed. What all will you address? Society, social issues, governance, a little bit of governance, which is related to rural development, etc. All these topics should be covered, irrespective of which paper it is coming, it will be covered. So at least after end of July, you will get some clarity with respect to the syllabus. So don't worry. Sometimes you might feel, oh, I'm going out of topic, etc. The reason why we would be going a little bit out of topic is to understand the context. Is that okay? So all of you trust us, and by end of July or by beginning of August, you will start getting clarity. So till there, just relax, enjoy the topics that we are going to cover. Unlike your Karnataka history or Karnataka geography, which is very clear cut. Even history may now there's like post-independent Karnataka history. Again, there is some things mixed up there. But if you talk about Karnataka geography, it's very clear cut. Topics are there, you have to study them. Here, you might have seen there's a lot of overlapping. So let me first give you some clarity as to what are the topics that I will be covering in this particular section. It's all again organized differently because I have a background from anthropology and societal studies. So therefore, I have got the picture as to what the syllabus setter had in mind, but unfortunately could not reflect it in the syllabus. Okay, so let me give you a better clarity of the same. Okay, online students, I hope you understood this, right? So society and social issues, part of GS1, some parts of GS2 also. Okay, in that we will try to cover. Okay, so if you look at the topics that we'll cover, first let's try to understand what is culture and society. Because if you see KPSC questions, they're asking certain theoretical concepts, direct questions. Okay, so at least to have some little bit foundation. I won't go too much in depth like how sociology, anthropology studies, but at least influenced by that, I will try to give you a meaning of what is culture and society. It'll go a long way to write good essay, to write ethics paper. So it'll go a long way. So let me try to give you the idea of what is culture and society, and then what do you mean by social structure, okay, and then social structure of India. So to understand the social structure, because I have seen that in the questions are so arranged in KPSC, each section is put together. And if you have seen the mains paper, anybody written mains here? Okay, if you have seen the mains paper in the beginning of the mains question QCA, okay, QCA booklet, if you see, in the beginning, there is a box, okay. So you have topic and marks or some signature, something like that. So over here, it will be, so basically, social issues topics will go to a sociology faculty. Geography will go to a geography faculty who would have been teaching in the university. Okay, so I am sure it is going to be like that. So every paper has 3 sections. So there is 3 sections and the marks allotted to it and how much the examiner is going to give. That means 3 different faculties are checking. That means experts are going to check it, or so-called experts are going to check it. Is that okay? So that means social issues probably will be evaluated by somebody with sociology background. So therefore, they expect certain terms. Unlike UPSC where it can be written very generally, I feel better marks can be got by using certain terms. Only for that, maybe 1 or 2 classes I will dedicate to give you a better understanding of these concepts. May not be there in the syllabus, may not be used also in your examination, but it is going to be useful, is what I feel. Is that okay? So therefore, the first topic is, we will try to understand what do you mean by culture. We'll try to understand what do you mean by society. We'll try to understand what is social structure. And then what is the social structure of India? All that we will try to understand. See, when we say culture, culture means, before I dictate those topics and all, just to discuss with you guys, what do you mean by culture? Yes, it is a way of life. Yes, it is a way of life of a group of people is called as culture. And the people who have similar culture, they constitute the society. Yes or no? So that is what is culture and society. Now, like any other system, like when sociologists do studies of culture and society, they try to identify the components of it. Okay, for us, like wearing clothes, talking to people, language, etc., is culture, no doubt. But within that also, there is some kind of constituent elements. Okay, so that is what is known as the structure. We'll try to understand that. So what is this society made of? The structure of the society. So theoretically, what is it made up of? We will try to understand that. And then coming to the syllabus, actually, the social structure of India. So the social structure of India, the traditional Indian society, which is Hindu traditional society, within that, the social structure is your caste system. So what is caste? What are the features? Because when we have to understand social change, we have to understand the traditional social structure or society. Traditional society has to be understood for us to better understand social change. Are you able to understand this? So that is where you have to, first understand the concepts. You see, why society and all, we need to go from the basics is because you don't know the concepts. Unlike polity, where you have already studied constitution, I can just directly go and tell what is judiciary, what is executive, and go mains perspective later. But here, these things are not discussed in prelims, and maybe somebody who do not have these social issue background will not be able to appreciate it. So therefore, let's try to understand those things. Caste system. What are the features of caste system? Okay, how do you define the caste system? You can write it in so many places, right? Then jati and varna system of caste. How do we differentiate this? Because caste itself is mentioned as a topic, anything can be asked. Sociology topics can be asked. So therefore, we'll have to know all these things. Socio-economic system of India, the traditional economic system of India. Okay, within that, we will be studying about Jajmani. So even in your rural development, you'll also will be mentioning these Jajmani system and all of that. Okay, so these are some of the topics initially as part of understanding the social structure of India. Okay, then once we have understood the social structure and the important key points over there, we will be talking about the social changes. Okay, so society is very dynamic and it constantly undergoes changes. Various factors, external as well as internal factors, are responsible for social change. Now, what do you mean by social change? And what are the various factors leading to social change? And we'll also have to know the various theories of social change. Okay, evolutionary theories or disruptive theory, cyclical theory. Atara, there are some basic concepts, direct question. We'll see the previous year question, you'll realize. Okay, so social change is the topic. Okay, then within that, some sociologists, some anthropologists have tried to study and give concepts of social change. So there's something called as Sanskritization. There's something called as Westernization. Okay, so what do you mean by that? There's something called as modernization. In the next slide, I will put that. Okay, so you'll better understand that. So Sanskritization is an example of changes that happens within the society. Okay, so endogenous factors. What do you mean by endogenous? Within. So changes that is happening within. There is a concept that was given by a sociologist called as M.N. Srinivas, which is called as Sanskritization. When we say Westernization in simple terms, what will you write? Any changes that is happening due to India's contact with the West. Specifically, external world, specifically with respect to the West. Mainly the Europeans, within that mainly the British. And now America and all that. So those are the things. See, these are some things which are concepts which are given by sociologists. So you're expected to write that. It might look very simple, Westernization. Oh, I'll write whatever, I eat burger, I eat pizza, so I know what is Westernization. Okay, but there is a concept, there's a definition, there are features. Okay, there is criticism of the same. They can ask in the examination. The difference is, out of 10, you might get 3 marks simply writing something. Okay, 6 marks to 7 marks by writing what we tell in the class, what I discuss in the class. So that's the difference. It looks easy, but you need to write certain specific points, then only it becomes good. Then we have social disorganization. Not all change is good for the stability of the society. Not all changes would lead to continuity of the society. Okay, in its true form or in its original form. So there is going to be change, and these change can be sometimes not good for the survival of that society or culture. So social disorganization. Like for example, various youth unrest is one topic over here. So youth unrest and all that is social disorganization. What do you mean by that? Certain terms that you have to mention over there. Similarly, social movements. Okay, it can be youth movement, feminism, and things like that. So youth movement, all those social movements. Then directed social change. So again, certain changes are necessary in our society. Do you agree with it? So there could be some social evils that has to undergo change. Okay, to bring about positive change in the society. Now there is practice of sati, it was changed. There was child marriage, it was changed. Child labor, it was changed. So directed social changes where certain agencies, okay, certain agencies like government, voluntary organization, religious organization, etc. In this specific case, it is mainly to do with the government. When the government introduces these changes, right? Government introduces these changes to bring about positiveness is called as directional social change. Okay, please write down all these things, what we are going to discuss. I forgot to mention in the beginning because the syllabus is one part, these topics are one thing. Okay, so I want you to see mains and prelims, the difference of my approach is, my approach towards prelims, mains is very different. Prelims I will teach, mains I will spoon feed. Okay, so that is important is what I believe. So there has to be a note. So all of you keep a separate file, notes, whatever. Okay, it has to be there in the notes along with the textbook that we give. So online students also, please make sure that you write down these topics because this is the flow of our class. So tomorrow you can hold me also accountable for that and also yourself when you are studying as to how you have progressed. So don't worry and break your head with syllabus, because we have done that and we will provide you what is necessary. All that you have to do is study it. However the question is asked, whichever paper, whichever number of the question is asked, you should be able to answer it.